The Mandalorian Chapter 7, The Reckoning. I don't even know what to say. I feel like every time I get on here, I say, this is my favorite episode. No, this is my favorite episode. This is my favorite episode. But for sure, this episode is my favorite. Well, this one and the third episode, the one where the Mandalorian rescues Baby Yoda, those both are my favorites. And they just so happen to be directed by Deborah Chow, who is directing Kenobi with Ewan McGregor here soon. And never in a Star Wars TV show, animated, live action, or otherwise, or in any Star Wars movie, or any Star Wars anything, I have never felt such a wide range of emotions, man. I laughed, I felt shocked, I teared up. And in one scene, I even jumped out of my seat. And Star Wars has never made me jump before. It's really quiet in the scene I'm talking about. Before the shootout, when all the blaster fire starts up, I just couldn't help but damn near shit my pants. But let's back up for a second. So the Mandalorian receives a transmission from Greef Karga, and Greef offers him a deal. And the deal is that the ex-Imperials have taken over the city, and Greef Karga wants control of Navarro back for the guild. And so he offers to have the Mandalorian come there with Baby Yoda as bait, so that once they get in proximity of the ex-Imperials, the Mandalorian can kill them, and in exchange, Greef would clear his name and let him keep Baby Yoda. So Mando goes back to the planet where Cara Dune is hiding out, and he wants to recruit her to come with him as an added gun. Then he heads back to the planet that he was on in the very first episode to enlist the help of the Ugnaught, the I have spoken Ugnaught. And, when they get there, they speak with Mr. I have spoken, and we run into IG-11. But there's a twist. We learn that the Ugnaught has reprogrammed it since the Mando shot him down for trying to assassinate the child. So the Mandalorian, Cara Dune, the Ugnaught, IG-11, and the child, they all head out for Navarro. And there's this scene on their way there. The Mandalorian and Cara are arm wrestling, and Baby Yoda thinks that Cara is trying to hurt Mando, and he begins to force choke her. I was absolutely shocked. I did not know what to think, man. Even talking about it, it's like these words are coming out of my mouth right now. It's just kind of funny how a small little child without any training in the Force is force choking people. And I don't hear anybody complaining about this kind of stuff with him, force lifting the mud horn or whatever, compared to how people have complained about Rey. But I know that George Lucas said that, anyone that can use the Force, they can use it. It's just the Jedi have their own philosophy, and they have refined skills, and they've dedicated their life to studying, the Force. And that's what separates a Jedi from someone who is Force sensitive like Baby Yoda is. And I still stand with that. But hot damn, this isn't even the only Force power that we see the child use. When we get to Navarro, they meet up with Greef Karga and they all walk back to town on foot. And they have to set up camp overnight, because they're too far away. And there are these giant alien pterodactyl creature things that swoop in from the sky, and literally, they come out of nowhere, and they just start attacking them, and they start, picking people up one by one. They end up taking one of the blurgs, and it made me sad how upset that the Ugnaught was to lose, one of these blurgs. You can tell how wholesome this Ugnaught is, man, and how much he truly cared. But anyway, Greef Karga gets wounded by one of these pterodactyl dragon things, and he has a huge gash on his arm. Cara, she tries to perform medical help on him, but the poison spreads too fast and Greef starts to die. But that is until that Baby Yoda walks up to him and force heals his arm. Saves his life. It's very similar to how he tried to do that with the Mandalorian, and in the second episode after he fights the Trandoshans. But I thought this was incredible. Force heal is something that I've read in books, something that you see in video games, but to see it on the live TV screen, like in live action, man, that was a treat. And dude, this little guy is powerful. And he gives Greef Karga a change of heart too, because Greef was just planning to shoot down Mando and Cara and take Baby Yoda for themselves once they got in proximity of the town. But this whole experience gives Greef Karga a change of heart. Greef literally turns around and just shoots both of his men, just point blank. So they come up with a new plan. Mando, Cara, and Greef Karga are going to go into the city, and Mando sends the Ugnaught back with Baby Yoda to the ship. He tells him, get back to the ship, lock it up. Here's a comm link. Let me know if anything goes wrong. And they head off and meet up with Werner Herzog's character. And damn, I did not expect him to get shot up so fast. I mean, that was insane. Before Werner Herzog dies, he receives a call from Moff Gideon. And shortly after this, Gideon shows up in a TIE fighter and has the whole building surrounded with stormtroopers and death troopers. It's kind of like those old westerns where they're in the bar or wherever they are, and there's all the other cowboys outside on the horses, and they're just shooting up the windows and they're shooting up everything, and they're just hiding behind tables and shit like that. It's like it had a total western feel, man. So while all this is going down, Mando calls the Ugnaught over his comm link, and he just tells him, hey man, take off, get in the ship, get out of there, we're pinned down. But unfortunately, there's the 2 scout troopers, and they're dialed into their frequency and hears them over the comm. So they speed off for the Ugnaught, and this is the part that made me sad, man. They shoot the Ugnaught, and I mean, he speaks for the last time. And I mean, the Ugnaught looked so determined to get to the ship. Just the look on his face, man. That look of determination just made me so sad, the way that played out. And I mean, it's once they get close to him, and he's right there. He's so close to the ship, and you think he's gonna get in. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, he'll probably be all right. But no. The next scene, you literally just see Baby Yoda laying on the ground. You have no idea what happened. I mean, you suspect what happens, but the swoop bike comes by, the Imperial picks him up, takes Baby Yoda out of there, and then the camera just pans over to the Ugnaught laying there dead. And I mean, holy crap. I don't know how to feel about this episode, and that's why I love it, honestly. It's just so fun. It was so fun to see the Mandalorian team up with everybody from the previous episodes, and this is what I was wanting to see all along. I mean, every time the Mandalorian would meet somebody new in an episode, I would hope that they would tag along with them, but they never do, and I was beginning to wonder why in the hell all the promotional posters and toys and all of that featured Cara Dune and IG-11 so heavily. But now I understand it. And damn it, we have to wait a whole week and a half now to find out how this season is going to end? I mean, at the end of these videos, I usually predict what will happen next, but they left the door so wide open with this. I mean, I would just be shooting in the dark with speculation. Anything can happen. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, you sons of bitches. You have made one hell of an awesome Star Wars story. I still say that this show is light years better than the movies that we've gotten not only from Disney, but just overall. If I were to rank this with the movies themselves, it would easily be ranked in my top 5. But I mean, that's just my opinion. What'd you guys think? I mean, are you digging the show as much as I am? And what do you think's gonna happen in the finale? Let me know in the comments, and for the very last time, I have spoken.